Hey there, Alex Kidman with my super quick reactions and responses to Apple's peak performance event, which has just wrapped at the time I'm recording this. I'm doing this straight live to mic, so any hiccups, sneezes, or other interruptions are all my own fault. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that usual stuff, but let's get straight into it. So what did Apple have to show us? Well, there was a lot that was actually expected. We got the iPhone SE 5G, or it's just the iPhone SE again. And look, this is an interesting device. The inclusion of the A15 Bionic obviously means this is going to be a beast of a machine with a few interesting, weird little caveats. I noticed that Apple has not dropped the iPhone 11 from its range. I don't exactly know why you'd buy one of those. And there's a really interesting counterpoint here between the iPhone 13 mini and the iPhone SE now in price and performance terms. That battery life is obviously going to be key. Apple says the A15 Bionic is more power efficient, and it probably is, because they're saying they can run this rocket engine of a CPU on a phone with the same battery performance as the older iPhone SE, the 2020 model. That being said, the older iPhone SE had terrible battery life, so I'm not super confident here. We'll have to wait and see. We also got a sort of Malibu Stacy moment with the iPhone 13 getting green options. Great if you like it. Not terribly spectacular, of course. The iPad Air gets the expected bump up to M1 processor level. Again, great little step if you like the iPad Air. Puts it in this weird, interesting comparison territory, though, against the iPad Pro, the smaller model, that is, and I suppose the iPad Mini. But I guess the real play here is that it totally differentiates it against the more affordable iPad model, because that's the only one not sitting on M1 now. I like some of the new colours as well. They're kind of cute. Be very interesting to have a play with that. In terms of peak performance with PEAK in mind, though, of course, the real story here was the M1 Ultra processor, which is going into the Mac Studio. And this is a sort of chunky Mac Mini, with a lot more ports and a heck of a lot more performance, especially if you go for the M1 Ultra model, or they will also sell it with the M1 Max. I do like the fact that Apple is finally saying, hey, by the way, you might want some ports at the front of this thing to plug things in. More of this, please, Apple. Speaking of ports at the front, though, you've also got the Mac Studio. That still has the ports at the back, but then that sort of looks like it's an iMac without all the iMac bits in it. Running an A13 Bionic. Interesting play there, with camera for center stage, so you'll be able to use that on a Mac for the first time, which is kind of cool. You will need a fairly deep set of pockets, though, to afford this new Mac hardware. Here in Australia, the cheapest version of the Mac Studio will start you at $3,099, but the top tier full spec thing is going to run you $12,099. I don't quite have pockets that are that deep, but if there are any benefactors out there, I'm all ears. The Studio Display is, relatively speaking, more affordable, starting at $2,499 or $2,999 with a nano textured glass. Still pricey for a monitor, but then this is pro-grade stuff. If you know that you need this, you know that you can afford it. And if you can't, like me, you can't afford it, then you just can't afford it. There was also a tiny bit of Apple TV news. Tim Cook basically patting himself on the back about Academy Award nominations and announcing that they're getting US baseball games on a Friday night. Interestingly, those are coming to Australia if you're keen, but obviously the timing is sort of interesting there. I guess they're kind of early Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon kind of stuff. So maybe not so bad, actually. If you're keen on that, they will be included with an Apple TV Plus subscription at launch, although the press release actually suggests that at some point they're going to start charging for that. So obviously Apple TV is looking into the sports category. That's basically it for the peak performance event. It was kind of in and out very quickly. What do you think? What do you know? What do you want to know? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.